Hey there, it's Garden of Helios, but you can call me Miles. I'm an artist, writer, game dev, and today I would love to talk about character design from a couple of my characters from my game. I've had a hard time defining exactly like how to describe Nyctology. Like, I don't have a really good catchphrase or whatever the hell it's called for it, but it's a whimsical, dark fantasy romance visual novel. It's kind of vintage, and it is silly and lovely, and there's lots of tea time and being awkward and embarrassing yourself, which is the most amusing shit. Anyway, the two characters, Historia and Volia. They are both elves from... Holy fuck, I forgot what my world was called. Oh my god, hold on. Hold the fucking phone. It's been a minute, alright? Be nice. What the hell? From the Elven territories. They call their land Hiora. It's, it literally just means here, which I think is fucking funny. Historia is an archivist. He has kind of like a library museum type thing that he runs. And Volia is a lone huntress who has rejected her people and family and everyone. She prefers the forest. It is a much more enjoyable place for her. They both come from different incomes. Like, they grew up differently. Historia was more on the less fortunate side, and Volia was on the far more fortunate side. And I feel like they kind of swapped, kind of. Historia has jewelry and fancy buckles and expensive books and fine clothing. And Volia, her clothing more so just resembles bandages and wrappings and tattered cloth that barely cover anything. And I think it reflects their environment and the things that they care about. Historia has a lot of like yellow and gold, because they have a theme of gold in their culture. They have a, I love this trope, one big giant tree in the center of all of their territories. It's called the Gildrayor, and its sap is golden and beautiful like honey, and they love to incorporate it into their fashion because the tree is sacred to them. And even being a person who has rejected materialism and elitism, Volia still has aspects of gold in her fashion because it represents the lifeblood of nature, and for her it makes her feel closer to it all, and that's very important to her. And tattoos are very commonplace for the elf. Even somebody as cute and adorable and delicate as Historia has a neck tattoo. Volia's tattoos, on the other hand, are not, you know, fine and expensive or exquisite or inlaid with gold or whatever, like Historia has. And they were probably done by another hunter. They were stick and poke. They were a very slow process, kind of nitty gritty, you know, obviously clean. They both have eye tattoos, but for Volia, her tattoos are more so to appear as a predator in the forest while she's hunting, because, you know, crouched down, she has eyes on her knees, and the forest actually has a lot of bioluminescence, and just like the animals, they utilize the bioluminescence to appear more threatening, and she puts them on her eye tattoos so that her eyes glow. And she has them on her elbows so that even behind her it looks like she's, you know, to some fucking wolf or something. So I'm like, oh, that thing is looking at me. And I wanted to have her tabard to be that's that sheer material around her waist, to be tattered, because she's like crouching and always low to the ground or climbing things, so that just gets torn so easily. And the feathers on her belt are actually a headdress that she wears to intimidate predators and spook them away. And her clippy belt, her little plastic clippy belt, was just something that she found in the woods and was like, this is fucking awesome, and ditched the leather. She found that it can withstand so much more wear and tear than her leather equipment. She has face paint around her eyes. She's a bit roguelike. And the wrappings around her legs, those are just for protection and mobility. And she definitely shaves her head with her hunting knife. Oh yeah, and if you didn't know, my elves grow colorful hair naturally. The green blue in her hair is her natural hair color, and so is the black. But the yellow is it's a hair wrap. And the lip to chin marking is a tattoo. She got that earlier in her life before she integrated into the forest with the rest of the animals. And for her cloak, I wanted it to appear that it was old and worn and not new, but I feel like you can tell that it's kind of a high quality material because it has the designs and the golden rim at the bottom. Almost makes you wonder why she has kept it. So, for Historia, the theme of eyes in his design more so represents knowledge and knowing, as opposed to Volya's eyes, which are for intimidation. Which, I would say, an open eye in itself does represent knowing and awareness. So technically it does represent the same thing. Historia has his journal, just raw dogging it, a strap just on his hip, across his chest, because he uses it so frequently. He gets clasps customized for the spine of his book so he can attach it to his little strap like it's a satchel. It's all for convenience sake. And my, why does he always have his journal out? What is he writing down? Well, when you meet him, he is in the human world, and he had never been in the human world before, and he's an archivist, he's a historian, so he's keeping track of things, he's making notes, and that's why he's always, like, scribbling away. He's got his journal at the ready for whenever he needs it. Historia's eyes, I wanted them to be sharp but kind, so they're definitely more narrow than what I did with Rowan's eyes, because right? Like, I'm like, oh, he's sharp-minded, but he also has a big heart and he's soft. But Historia has more of a refined feeling to him, so they're definitely a bit more narrow. But I hope that with the twinkles in his eyes, you can see the kindness. And I had his ears pointing further upwards than Volya's does, because Volya has this low, darker kind of energy, and Historia is very light and friendly and happy. Oh my, yeah, and Historia's body tattoos, you can see it go down from his collarbone down his chest. He has them, it's almost full body, it's more like on his chest and his arms, and I'm sure he has them on his legs, but they are, I like it, because it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm a bad boy type of the way that we have tattoos in our world. It's, and it is accepted to be, delicate and beautiful and tasteful. But yeah, that's, the two elves that contrast each other the most, with Historia being very delicate and dainty, and Volya being harsh. And as rough as sandpaper. Historia isn't actually my design. I bought him. He was an adopt. I got him from Iris on Amino, like in 2020. I think their toy house is has a different username, and I'll probably put that in the description. While I didn't design Historia's outfit entirely, I feel like the golden shirt and the flowy sleeves are beautiful and airy and perfect for who he is and what he's like. I think in the next video I'm gonna yap about Gray, Gabe, or Virgil. I'm not entirely sure if I should compare them necessarily, because Virgil's a detective, Gabe is a zoologist, Gray is a student. But after those guys, oh my, what is this? Demons? And if you want updates or know how the game development is going for Nyctology, I'd recommend subscribing, because that is pretty much the only way, other than following, I guess, Instagram, to know what's going on. I also have Ko-Fi, and I hope to start up a Patreon at some point. That'll be a blast.